Good morning, everyone. It is morning. It's like 11:30 a.m. in the UK. Early kickoff today. Manchester United against Aston Villa, the United Legacy Arms. Look at it. Since 1878. It's open again today. I'm going to be having chats with you ahead of kickoff. This is the interactive, genuinely interactive, live build-up show to Man United's game against Aston Villa. We need to win after the disappointment that we had in midweek against West Ham in the League Cup. We want to bury that, just like we buried that game against Young Boys by beating West Ham away in the Premier League. Can we do it against Villa today? Let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into the team news, which is being released a little bit early now. We all thought, no, we didn't think that Donny was going to start. Honestly, I got 11 out of 11. It really wasn't a difficult starting 11 to guess. De Gea came back in with Maguire and Raphael Varane as the two centre-backs, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as the full-backs, McTominay and Fred. McFred is back in midfield. Bruno in front of them. Pogba on the left. Greenwood on the right. And, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo up front. I got the starting 11 bang on, as Carl Baldwin says in the comments. And as I said, it's not, and I don't mean this in a massively negative way, it's not a difficult team to predict if everybody's fit. Okay, you let me know what you think about Fred and about Van der Beek. Honestly, really, let me know what you think in the comments. What's the reason for it? I personally think it's just down to trust. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a manager who he trusts certain players and he trusts certain positions and he just sticks with it. He absolutely sticks with it. And today, as soon as McTominay and Fred are fit again, both of them are starting in midfield. Let's quickly go over here. I'll go up on this in a little bit more detail. This is the one I prepared before kickoff, and I don't have to change a bean because I've got it absolutely spot on. McTominay playing there in front of Fred. What we'll see is what we saw against West Ham. You see McTominay driving forward a little bit. You'll see Fred dropping into the space behind. And McTominay probably coming into those positions. Bruno dropping a little bit left. Bruno will move around. McTominay won't necessarily operate in a 4-2-3-1. But the interesting thing today is that we're going to see Aston Villa line up with 5 at the back, 2 wing backs, 3 in the middle and 2 up front. They're not really, their width's going to come from their fullbacks. And if their fullbacks really go forward, ladies and gents, look at this space in behind. Pogba and Greenwood should be having fun today, depending on how aggressive Aston Villa go. I'll get into that. I'll run through that. And we'll look at the tactical preview. We'll look at Aston Villa's team news. We'll look at Manchester United. Well, there's no point looking at the team news. Who's on the bench? Is Cavani on the bench? Let's go back. Cavani's back on the bench. Look at that bench, man. Heaton, Dalot, Lindelof, Lingard, Matic, Van der Beek, Cavani, Martial, and Sancho. That's a cracking bench that United have got there. Game-changing substitutions. Sancho and Cavani are the two you go to first. Depending on what happens in midfield, it's Matic or Van der Beek that comes on. Realistically, it's probably going to be Matic today. So I'll be surprised if we see Donny Van der Beek coming on. Takeoff saying, Pastor Fred getting critics. Please don't criticize the pastor. It's true, actually. Can't criticize the pastor. But look, Fred is Fred. I'm going to have to do a specific video on Fred because there are definitely attributes to his game that are good. And he gets slated 100%. And I think as 100% slating is undeserved. But there's things to his game, certainly with the progressive passing, that Van der Beek does so much better. That's why people are annoyed about Fred. They're not annoyed about his defensive contributions because he does contribute defensively. It's the fact that he can't bring the ball forward and bring the ball through. What I'll do now is I'll head down to the comments. I'll bring a few of you in. Ian, I can see they're hiding in a pub. I'll bring a few of you in, just have a quick chat and see what you think about the game. Let's bring Ian in. He's been there waiting patiently. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thanks, mate. How are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What do you reckon about that lineup then?
I mean, I'm a big fan. I won't say I'm a big fan of Donny, but I'm a big fan of giving Donny a chance because he's shown he can do it in Europe. So I'm always disappointed anytime Donny's not lined up, especially when he was at one of our better players against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. I want to see McDonny play, but I feel like we've got to wait a bit longer. I just want to see it play before. I want to see McDonny play before the January transfer window, so that so Ollie's got something to say. Look, we've tried everything. If we need a CDM, other than that, I think it's our starting 11. It's our strongest 11. I do think Greenwood's best up top, but you can't beat out Ronaldo. Pogba's in
No,
his
you
best.
can't beat out Ronaldo. You
Yeah,
can't. And Greenwood, as we saw against West Ham when he came off the bench, even from the right, he's massively effective. He really is. He can run at a defender, a bit like what we expected of Jadon Sancho. But he's on the bench today. I think that's the right thing. As I've always said, play players on form.
yeah.
But at the same time, Fred's not really in there on form. He's probably the exception to the rule as far as Solskjaer goes. But what sort of result are you expecting today? Obviously, Aston Villa, the last game, man, they pumped Everton 3-0. So they lost to Chelsea 3-0 before that, and they lost to Chelsea midweek in the League Cup. But Villa aren't exactly a massive push over here. What are you expecting?
I mean, they've still gone 5 at the back. So you talked about Pogba and Greenwood are going to get opportunities to get in behind, and you're right. But Ronaldo's going to be, swabbed. He's probably going to have two on him the whole game at the minimum. So I do think we'll win. I suspect Ings is going to score, so I'm going to go 2-1. I think it's going to be a tight one. We're going to have to break them down. I think the most important thing for us is to get that first goal. I think you talked about it yesterday. I think just kind of getting on that front foot right from the go.
Yeah, well, I hope you're right, mate. Yeah, I'll speak about that in a bit. You're spot on. But yeah, Aston Villa, they're definitely going 5 at the back today. So I think that's probably going to play into United's hands, really. But make sure you enjoy it from the pub. And I'm sure you'll be watching the match reaction after we've won 4-0, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, depending on the family situation, but that's the intention too.
Well, enjoy your day, mate. Nice to chat to you.
Cheers, mate. Speak soon.
Ba-ba-ba. If you're all new, if there's anybody new here, make sure you get involved. Subscribe to United People's TV. Leave your comments and your messages like Mike Kane saying, don't know why DVB isn't playing. Ole is the problem. Sumed saying Fred has no sense of passing. And see it, the VDB, the pass to the last game, Greenwood shows his quality. Ole is senseless, says Raymond. The idiot manager, says Mo. I tell you what, people. This is a definite point. There's no point getting pissed off, massively pissed off at starting 11, because I remember over the last few years, there's certainly been games where I've gone, that is an absolutely spot on 11. And then we go and lose. And I'm like, oh. And then there's games where I'm like, that is a ridiculous 11. And we go on and win. I don't think Van der Beek coming into that team for Fred would make a cataclysmic difference to this team. I think it would certainly change the style of our progression of the ball through the middle. But look, it's really important today to understand what formation Aston Villa are lining up in, because they're playing 5 at the back. They really are going to leave that space in. As Ian has rightly pointed out there, it depends how high these fullbacks play, because they're either going to play a 3-5-2 like that with 2 wing backs basically operating as 2 midfielders holding back, or they're going to be playing 5 at the back like that. I apologize if my connection's going. I can see it's going a bit unstable. There's no reason for that. I am plugged in to the internet, but it should be all right. But as I said, it depends on how aggressive Aston Villa want to go. If they're smart, and I imagine they will be smart, it will be 5 at the back to begin with. What I would expect to see here from Aston Villa is these 2 fullbacks really not going forward that much, creating a proper bank of defenders there, back 5. And look, Ian's right. I think Ronaldo might be swamped today. You're likely to. Well, good thing is they don't have Tuanzebe. Obviously, he can't play. He's on loan from Manchester United, and he has been playing in the middle of their defense. So they're going to have to make some changes. Leon Bailey, obviously a player who's been so instrumental for them so far this season, he's out injured. John McGinn, it looks like he's going to be fit to play in midfield, and that's a big bonus for them. But Ronaldo might find this. He might find that whenever he drops a little bit to this side, he's going to get covered there. He's going to get covered there. Ronaldo might find it difficult to get space, but Ronaldo's Ronaldo, man. I don't think Ronaldo's going to be shitting his pants. No offense to Aston Villa, but I don't think he's going to be shitting his pants at any point about playing Aston Villa here. He will still find space. He will find space in behind. And as I said, because they're playing 5 at the back, if they do decide, and that's why that first goal is so crucial. I've said it so many times. We have to see it today. We have to see the fast starts from Manchester United here against Aston Villa. Just get a couple of pop shots off. Test the keeper. Set the tone. Even if it's Bruno from 25, 30 yards and it's a shot on target, it sets the tone. What I don't want to see from Manchester United today is simply us in the first 20 minutes of the game playing the ball around here. for the ball to basically sit in that period, that part of the pitch. United in control, United moving the ball round. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, look at that. Oh, let's just go backwards. Oh, let's go backwards. I don't want to see that. I want to see us trying to move fast. Boom. Get Greenwood in behind. Get Greenwood firing a crossing. Get an early corner. Get the pressure up. There you go. Maguire comes up for that corner. Exert some early pressure. This is Manchester United. We are playing at Old Trafford and we are playing Aston Villa. All right. Simple as that. Man United should be going for this game nice and early. Set that tone. Set that pace. Because we do that and we get that early goal, this 3-5-2, instead of being a 5-3-2, we get that early goal. We force Aston Villa to switch it to a 5-3-2, which then is basically the dream formation for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's teams to play against. He loves it when this happens because of that. Because of that. You might see Shaw going on the overlaps, but if you do, you're going to have to get Fred dropping deeper there. You're going to have to get Bruno dropping into that position there because, look, they're going to have overloads at that point of the pitch. So I'm not actually too sure how far forward Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka will get, simply because of the threat of the overload that they could have on the counter-attack. It'll be interesting to see. But this is really going to be all about, for me, in my opinion, it's all going to be all about Pogba and all about Greenwood. And the runs in behind there, because if they make those runs and they do it well, do a quick 1-2, Pogba to Ronaldo, Bruno, he'll find that ball there. Bruno will find that ball there. It's going to be about Bruno, Greenwood, and Pogba today. And Ronaldo, if he can, he's just going to be trying to make movements, trying to make runs, getting on the end of it, because there will be ample opportunities for United today to send those crosses in with the spaces in behind. I'm going to go down to the comments here, ladies and gents. I'm going to read a few of your comments out, as I always do. Meat, I can see you there. Do you think Scott and Donny can form a partnership? Well, you can only form a partnership if you get an opportunity. Can you, Meat? It's a lot of you want to see that McDonny. I mean, that's definitely got to be sponsored by McDonald's at some point. A lot of you want to see that McDonny partnership. It's not there. It's not really likely to happen anytime soon, because if Van der Beek's going to come out, it's because Fred, he's a wasp in terms of his defensive attributes. He just constantly runs around, constantly annoys the opposition attackers, just buzzing around, biting at their feet, nibbling, trying to sting them. That's what Fred does in midfield, and that's why Solskjaer likes him. He likes the work rate. He likes the ethic. And those sort of performances have got Fred back into the Brazilian national team. So it works for him. He knows his niche and he's found it. And he's sticking to it. And therefore, if someone's going to come in midfield, it's probably going to be McTominay going out for Van der Beek. And I would argue McTominay is probably more important. Derek, what are you saying here? Nice seeing the comments here. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, Derek. Haven't seen you around. Have to move the ball quickly. Shaw has not impressed with his attacking runs this year. I wouldn't say that Shaw's not massively impressed. I think Shaw's still been quite consistent. I think Shaw definitely needs to improve on his deliveries. I'll definitely say that. But this United team, man, and as I said, I don't mean this in a negative way, a hugely negative way. Our team's become quite predictable. We're getting towards our starting 11 that we know is there for a certain reason, that will play in a certain way. And I can see here, Sam, you disagree. McFred against Aston Villa at home. It depends. Look, it doesn't really matter what way you try and package this Manchester United midfield up. I told you this at the start of the season. Every single midfield setup we have is a compromise. Whether that's McTominay and Fred, there's compromises there. Whether that's Fred and Van der Beek, there's compromises there. Whether that's Donny and McTominay, there's compromises there. Whether that's Matic, you get my drift, right? There are compromises with every single midfield setup that Manchester United have, because we did not sign a central midfielder. Let me head down to the comments here. I can see plenty of you waiting. There's some new faces in. I'll get a new face on. Ashley, I can see you there. I'll bring you in. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you here.
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing good, mate. How you feeling about that team today, then?
Again, my only niggle is Fred with the squad. I mean, the back five is pretty much more settled in stone now, which is good. I've always believed that United need to have those partnerships not only up front but also at the back, just so there's more confidence in the team. Like I said, the only thing I would change is Fred for Donny. But without us go buying a central defensive midfielder in the window, it's always going to be that. But I just, sometimes when he's playing games, he just, like you say, he's a wasp, but he just loses his head and he gives daft free kicks away. And that's my only concern about him. I mean, I am confident now that Leon Bailey's not in Aston Villa's team. If he was starting, I would be more worried about today's result.
Bailey's obviously been one of their most impressive players. If you were to look at their stats so far this season over on SofaScore, I think they've got Leon Bailey as their second best performer behind John McGinn in midfield. So them not having Bailey is certainly an asset for United. But what's your prediction today, Ashley? What are you thinking?
Gonna go 3-0.
Take that. Who do you think is going to score? Do you think Ronaldo's going to get swamped with Villa's defenders, or do you think he's still just going to be Ronaldo and break free and score?
I think Ronaldo will get 2, and I think Greenwood will get the third. The young lad's on fire, bless him. There's not a foot go wrong, and this is why, again, I'd say why Donny should start. I mean, you look at that pass. All right, he didn't. The keeper did well against West Ham midweek, but that pass over the top, and we need more of those passes, because when Bruno gets frustrated and he gets that pressure to try and pull the strings with him and Pogba, like I say, we get a bit more predictable. But with Donny, we've got more penetration because he'll find those quick passes and unlock defenses. So yeah, that again. But I'm confident we'll win.
No, I think you're spot on there. That's a big reason why so many people want to see Van der Beek in the team. But to his credit, McTominay made a couple of those passes against West Ham especially there was one ball he did through to Ronaldo that was a cracking pass. So McTominay does have a few of those in his locker, but hopefully you're right, Ashley. Nice to see you on here. Nice to chat. I'm sure I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, keep up good work, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Nice to speak to you. Look at that. New faces. I can see there's some regulars down there, or I can see you. Klein and Klein Jr., I can see you too. I'll bring you on at some point during the stream. But I'm excited about this team, man. I'm excited about watching Manchester United. Look, as Ashley said there, Greenwood's cracking this season. Greenwood really is cracking. He's the anticipation, that he created. Remember this, like we're there losing 1-0 to West Ham at Old Trafford. It's getting a bit angry. It's getting a bit moody. We're losing to West Ham. What are we doing? Greenwood stands up. He's not even on the pitch and Old Trafford's cheering. The anticipation that a 19-year-old has simply to come on the pitch is fantastic. And not only that, his impact within the first 5 minutes, he delivered on that anticipation. Greenwood's the rate at which he is developing is frightening for everybody else. 19-year-olds should not be that good. They should not be that cultured. They should not be that mature and rounded. His decision-making is spot on. I wouldn't say his decision-making is absolutely perfect, because rarely are the footballers ever perfect at decision-making. But Greenwood knows when to go on the outside, when to go on his right foot. He knows when to cut back inside, when to have a shot, when to pass. He's not greedy. He doesn't ignore other players. He does the right things at the right time. And I'm really excited to see what Greenwood does today. And I would probably back what Ashley said there. And I would definitely back Greenwood for a goal. I'll head back to the comments here and see what you're saying. Ashley, or different Ashley, saying, how can you be excited about McFred? Look, when it works, what happened against Leeds, first game of the season? Exactly. We won 5-1 against a team that comes at us. And we're playing an Aston Villa team here that are going to be playing 5 at the back. Aston Villa are going to come at us if we can get that early goal. The worst case scenario here, worst case, is we concede early doors and they can sit deep in like a Sam Allardyce back at the 5 at the back. That's a worry for United. And maybe that will be why we sort of try and slowly edge into the game. But I don't want to see that. I want to see Manchester United come out and go strong. And I understand, man. I really do. I understand the frustrations around Fred and McTominay. Hell, I was the person who was saying that the most important signing that we could make this summer was a central midfield signing. But we never made that signing. I put it down as the single most crucial thing that we could do, and we didn't do it. So ultimately, I agree with you. I'm not here disagreeing with anything that you're saying. It's just I think that some people are going a little bit overboard, I would say, in how much they hate McFred. Because when it works, it works. But when it doesn't work, that's when the frustrations come from. And that's where I do understand. Gamal saying Messi was that good before he was 19. Well, that's decent company. Kerry, you're saying happy with the starting 11 today, and I think it's going to be 2-1. I hope you're right, Kerry. Leeds are very open. They were very open. Will we be awarded a penalty? Asks Craig. It's a very good question, and it depends on whether, I don't know, they decide to cheat again, because we have deserved 3 penalties in the last 3 games. I'll tell you what, though, I'll head back to the United Legacy Arms. I apologize, by the way. It's early doors, so I'm having some water. Don't shoot me. Don't sue me. All right. I know that it says that no water served in this pub, but it's my pub, and I'm having water, so you can't kick me out. I'm going to bring Orr in though. Orr, let's have a chat, mate. How you doing, buddy?
How are you? Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How is it? What time is it there?
It is 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Oh, this is like dream kickoff for you, isn't it?
I rushed home from work, hoping to see Donny on the lineup. No Donny, so
no Donny. What's your reaction to the lineup then, or what do you think?
The lineup's okay. I would have loved to have seen Donny play with Scott. To be honest, you know how much I love Donny. I don't want to carry on, bore everybody. But the lineup, Matty Cash versus Luke Shaw will be interesting tonight. Cash is a good player. So the battle between the two wing backs there. I'm happy that Bundia and Leon Bailey are not playing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening.
Oh yeah. Bundia and Bailey aren't playing because Bundia is a good player and Bailey's a really, really good player with a lot of pace. I think if we score first, it's going to be a bit of a whitewash, like something like 4-0, 5-0. If Aston Villa score first, it'll be probably like 2-1, 3-1, I would imagine.
And what are you backing us to score first? How do you think we're going to play in the first 20 minutes? That's a crucial question, I think.
I think we're going to score first. I think the players are out there to prove a point. I'm just hoping Fred doesn't, have too good of a game so Donny never gets a chance.
Hey, look, Fred. I think it's getting a bit. I don't know. It's I really appreciate that Donny offers a lot in this team, but I do think that Fred does have attributes that no one else has. I don't think Donny has them either. And when you've got players like we've got so much quality in midfield there with Pogba and Bruno and McTominay. I think I can understand why Fred plays so much. It's just I'd rather it wasn't Fred. I'd rather it was a better central midfielder who could actually pass.
But Fred has been having some rubbish games. That Wolves game, I just couldn't believe he lasted that long. The first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, come on, Fred.
It's true. I can see Daniel's in the comments there saying it's not an obsession, but it's something we need to try. It is something that we need to try. And I think, I'll be honest, we're more likely to see it in European games. It comes down to trust. Obviously, Solskjaer still does not trust Donny van der Beek enough to start him in central midfield. I don't know why.
But he hasn't been given a chance. That's the thing. I just don't understand. Like, if you give him a chance, give him a couple of games where he plays, decent minutes, 70, 80, 90 minutes. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I just see so many opportunities being given to Fred where he's had like a below par performance, and literally the next game he's the first one on the team sheet. I don't understand. But it is what it is.
That's true. That's true. Well, what's your prediction then? What are you going for?
5-0.
Oh,
Ronaldo hat trick and Bruno double because they're on my fantasy team.
So you're trying to will it into existence.
Yeah. Yep.
Simple as that. Well, look, I'll take that. I'll take any sort of win today. But at the same time, I want that performance. I want United to start leading from the first whistle for the first 10 minutes. I think it always sets the tone. We've all been frustrated how that tone hasn't been set in recent games, but let's see how it happens today. I'll probably speak to you again in a bit, but thanks very much, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Sam.
And free Donny, right? That's what all would shout. Free Donny. Where is my Donny, baby? So many of you want Donny. I want Donny as well. Donny's a cracking little player. He's shown his worth against Young Boys and against West Ham. But he still doesn't get that opportunity today. Let's have a quick look at the Aston Villa starting 11 then. Because that will probably help. I didn't actually know that Buendia wasn't playing. That's good. Who are they playing instead of Twanzebe? This is how they line up. It's really nice. You can actually click. You can click the lineups on Aston Villa's Twitter. You try and click United's, it will take you to a bloody website. Rays, I can see you there, buddy. How you doing? You joined as a member. If you look on the community tab, my friend, there's a link to get involved. If anybody else, I'll say this now, if anyone else would like to join me on screen, as I said, I know there's watch-alongs, there's build-up shows. I try to make this as genuinely interactive as possible. I give you the opportunity to come on screen with me and we can talk about the game. Rays, hopefully you can come on screen now. I'll get you involved. Edmund, I can see you waiting. Anuj, I can see you waiting. Craig, Klein, I can see you too. And T. Royce, there's plenty more to come on. It's going to be a busy old show. We've still got half an hour to go. It's going to be a cracking time. Make sure, if you're new as well, drop a like on the video and subscribe. But let's take a quick look at the Aston Villa starting 11. So we've got Martinez in goal. I don't know how they've put it down here. Is that Mings, who's kind of would help me if I saw it in the formation. Watkins and Ings playing up front. Ramsey, Louise, and Target, are they playing in midfield? With Cash and McGinn as the wing backs? Maybe. I think that's what we're looking at. Tyrone Mings, I think he's a decent player, to be honest. I think he's actually quite a good centre-back. I think, look, Ronaldo is not going to be scared of playing Aston Villa. He's played Real Madrid for 10 years. He's won 4 Champions Leagues. He knows what to do against even the toughest of opposition, let alone Aston Villa. But it'll be interesting to see what sort of space he can get, because they're going to try and squeeze Ronaldo out. But if you try and get too many people marking Ronaldo, watch the space that Bruno has. That's a big thing. Rays, I really do love Sam's show. He's been following him for more than 3 years. Big up to you, my friend. Always good to have everybody who watches it get involved. I tell you what, let's bring a couple more of you on here. Who have we got here? Let's bring on Anuj. I can see you there waiting patiently, sir. And let's bring on Craig as well. How you doing, guys? Nice to see you.
Yeah, man. How are you, man, Sam? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, mate. How you doing, Craig?
Yeah, all good. Just, excited for always excited about the Villa fixtures.
Oh yeah, Villa's the one we all wait for, right? Anuj, what are you thinking about that starting 11? Are you annoyed about Van de Beek not getting in for Fred?
Yeah, I am annoyed about him not getting any minutes. Like, he proved his quality against Young Boys and West Ham in the cup games. So, I think Ole just still doesn't trust him. So I don't know what else he has to do, to put trust, make Ole think that he can play in any position he wants.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got to do, but maybe at some point it will come. And if it doesn't, he'll probably be leaving on loan in January, I think. What about you, Craig? What are you thinking about them? Is that the only problem you see with that starting 11, or do you think that Fred could play well?
It's a tough one. I mean, with McTominay back, he might slightly improve. Every time he gets the ball, it's like I close my eyes and just hopes he can make a simple pass, because it's getting to that point now where I'm worried about every pass he makes. Every time he gets the ball or runs back, I get worried. But yeah, looking for that lineup, I see every name out. I go yes. And I come to Fred okay. Then the rest, yes. I mean,
what?
I don't know.
Look, I understand the pessimism, but I'll be honest. I'm excited about that starting 11. I got it spot on. You probably all got it spot on. You got Ronaldo, you got Greenwood, you got Bruno. There's a little bit of frustration in the middle, but as long as we can pass it through quick enough, we can get there. But Anuj, what are you thinking about the result today? Then, what do you think is going to happen with that team?
I think we are going to win 3-1. I still think Aston Villa will sneak a goal in. I think Leon Bailey will score goal for them. Apart from that, we should score first. We should score first. Like, every fan in the stadium will be behind our team. So I'm guessing Ronaldo is going to score the first goal.
Cool. And what do you think, Craig? What do you think?
I'm going 3-1 with Ronaldo to score a brace, and maybe Bruno or Pogba Bruno, Pogba, or Greenwood to get the third. But I think Danny Ings will score for Villa.
I think Danny Ings will probably score as well. But 3-1, lads, I'll definitely take that. Thank you very much for joining in today.
Yes,
I'm sure you'll be in the comments or the match reaction as well. It won't be live today. You know that. I've switched away from... I was doing my live match reactions before, but I realised I wanted to go back and doing what I've always done. And I always liked doing a short, succinct, punchy match reaction. So that's what I've gone back to doing. Abby, I can see you. Is that the old Abby or is it a new Abby? It might be. I'm not sure. But welcome aboard. A couple of new members here joining in. Kunda, you're saying, to be honest, the lineup doesn't look too bad. Just hope the boys turn up today. The lineup doesn't look bad at all. As I said, there is a look, I keep repeating this, ladies and gents, but Manchester United right now, we are joint top of the Premier League. Chelsea and Man City are playing each other today. Someone's dropping points. Man United have got Aston Villa at home. We have an opportunity here that we should be taking advantage of. And I tell you what, we didn't do this. We didn't do this quite a lot last season. Whenever other teams slipped up, we slipped up at the same time. There were so many chances that Manchester United had last season where we could have taken advantage of it. Got 3 points where some of our rivals around us dropped points. We didn't do it. Today, Chelsea and or Man City, ideally a draw, they might both drop 2 points. Boom. United have got to go in there and beat Aston Villa at home. Look, if we want to take a look at Aston Villa's results that they've been having, they've had what would be classed as a mixed season. This is the table so far. Let's scroll in and zoom in. Woo, look at that. Technology these days. 10th. Played 5, won 2, lost 1. No, drawn 1, lost 2. 8 goals scored, 7 goals conceded. Their form, lost, win, draw, lost, win. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That's what their team is. And Aston Villa, as I said, if you're looking at their best players so far this season, Leon Bailey has been one of their best performing forward. He's out of this game. Excellent, Smithers. Absolutely excellent. Looking at their most recent results, let's zoom in up here. What have we got? Scroll over there. Thank you very much. So they lost on penalties in midweek to Chelsea in the League Cup. Not really looking into that too much. Big change team. Even Ashley Young started for them there. Aston Villa, they beat Everton 3-0. That was a very, very impressive win from them. They lost to Chelsea the week before. Week before that, drew with Brentford. Oh, they smashed the mighty Barrow. Beat Newcastle. And they lost to Watford on the opening day of the season. They have had a massively big mixed bag of results. And you've got to back Manchester United to be pumping them. I'm sorry. You have to be doing that. And this is the thing that United, as I said, we just haven't done. In these games where you're looking into the team, you're like, so we've got Pogba, Bruno, Ronaldo, Greenwood, and we're playing Villa at home. 3 points. 3 points. Under Fergie, it would have been a banker. The concept of a banker result now rarely, really happens. But that's what we're looking at here. Anthony, I can see you. Nice comment there. Thank you very much. Love this channel, Sam. You're the man. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Ant. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're new here, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I know that everybody's busy watching another build-up, but hopefully, as the season progresses, people will want to get involved more in United People's TV One. We can make it bigger and better together. Ian, Sam, you recommended Ole Real. What gets you here won't get you there. I would also recommend good to great. It's a big thing. United are good. United are good right now. Look, I'll go back to this again, ladies and gents. But I understand the negativity. I understand some of the negativity anyway, to do with McTominay and Fred being in midfield. I also understand that Manchester United are joint top of the Premier League on points. 13, equal with Liverpool and Chelsea. Chelsea and City both playing each other today. Going to be dropping points. Brighton, they're getting a nosebleed. They don't know what they're doing there. Liverpool, don't know who they're playing this weekend. Don't care. They're playing very well at the start of the season. And we play Liverpool in 3 weeks' time? It's going to be a tricky game, that one. But United have to go into it with good form. Look at our form at the moment in the league. 5 games, 4 wins, 1 draw. And that draw was a very frustrating game against Southampton. I'll be honest, we were probably lucky not to draw against Wolves. But that's what happens when individual moments can change the game. And that's what we don't want to see today. We keep speaking about it. We don't want to see Man United struggle for 60 to 65 minutes of the game and then Bruno to come out of nowhere with a 30-yard howitzer right into the top corner and Manchester United to sit deep, defend, and then come away with a gritty 1-0 win. Ultimately, it's the result that matters. But I'm not saying the performance is hugely crucial. I want the result. First and foremost, I want United to win. However we win, I'm fine with that. But I want to see United whip it out and slap it on the table, all right, against Aston Villa. I want them to do that and show that this is United again at Old Trafford. That's what City do to teams at home. That's what Liverpool do to teams at home. It's what Chelsea will do to teams at home. It's what the title contenders will do to teams like Aston Villa, your Brentfords. Oh, Brentford's quite tricky, actually. Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Burnley, Norwich. These sort of teams, when they come to your ground, you need to set the tone so that all these other teams, when they do come, they are then scared to come and play there. Casper, how are you doing, Casper? Nice to see you in the comments. 4-0 for United, you say. 2 for Ronaldo, 1 for Bruno, 1 for Mason. Donny should come in the second half for Fred. I think if Donny comes in, he'll come in for McTominay, not for Fred. Efosa, you're asking for a shout-out. There you go. You better drop a like on the video now. Fred, you're right, Sam. Solid performance, 3 points is all that matters. Tweak the problems later. Just stay in touch. Remember as well that obviously by the time January comes around, United might be able to sign a new central midfielder. Maybe that would change our fortunes. Maybe that would change the shape of our team. But Solskjaer loves McFred. He loves McFred. He must have something on them. I don't know what that is about. Before I quickly move on, if anybody wants to, hit that subscribe button. Get involved with the channel. Would love to have you on board. But let's go down to the comments, and I can see you there. We've got the latest member of the gang. Actually, no, we'll bring in Klein. Actually, no, Klein's having a little vape. Rays, I can see you down there. Latest member. He's joined in just to join in. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, man. I've been watching you for ages. Yeah. I've been watching you for ages, and I'm glad that I've become a member, actually.
Man, you've got a lovely set of teeth. I wish I had those teeth. My God.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man.
What do you think about the game then? How do you think about that team?
Well, I've always had problems with Fred, to be honest. Everyone does. And looking at the team, I still feel like everyone is saying, Van der Beek should have been there, considering how he performed midweek. But I still think we should give McFred a chance, because like you said earlier, we could win the game with them. Do you know what I mean? So we shouldn't panic. We should just support them and see how things turn out at the end of the game. That's what I think, really.
I do agree with you in the concept that, as I said, I try not to get too angry or too upset about a starting 11 because I don't really know how the game's going to go. It all depends on whether if Villa sit in that deep back five, the problems with Fred and McTominay will become more apparent. If Villa try and come at us and go fast, Fred and McTominay will work very well together. And I think that's what Solskjaer is banking on. And that's what, to be fair, he probably would have started them anyway. But judging by that starting 11, buddy, what's your prediction? How do you think the game's going to go?
I think we should overload the midfield a bit. That's what I think. I think because we've got those two sitting midfielders, we should let, say, somebody like Pogba tuck in and then let Shaw, bump forward on the flanks. That would help us. If we do that, then we should win the game easily. We should win it by 2-3 goals. That's what I think. So 3-0. That's what I'm calling it.
You're going 3-0, yeah?
Yeah.
What about Ronaldo? Do you think he's going to bag again?
Oh, he's bagging a brace. Straight up.
Straight up brace. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
Hey, look, buddy, thanks very much for joining us as a member. Really good to have you on board, and nice to hear that you've
I'll
been
always
watching
be
for a
here,
while.
man. I'll always be here. Even when I'm driving to work, I'm always listening and watching.
Always lurking in the background, but now you're here, you're on screen. Good to have you on board, man. I'm sure I'll speak soon again.
Take care, man.
Take it easy. Look at that. Isn't it great? Great community we're building here. But look, as I said, I really, really genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I understand the frustrations about this Fred and McTominay team. But watch, I swear to God, there's going to be a lot of egg on a lot of faces if Aston Villa do come aggressively at Manchester United, do leave that space, because that's when you're going to see the actual benefits of playing Fred and McTominay as a partnership, more so than maybe what Fred and Van der Beek could do. But at the same time, if they sit in that deep back five, that's when we're going to be seeing the problems and the limitations of Fred and McTominay as a midfield duo. I can see a comment here flying in. Let me just come down here. Oh, how you doing? I forgot to mention, would have liked to, let me bring you on screen here. Let me let you talk about your super chat here, or what you're saying. You're saying you forgot to mention you would have liked to get started for the game sharpness of the Champions League.
Yeah, with Wan-Bissaka being banned for the next game, I would have loved to see Delay get some game time, because we've got Villarreal. Was it Villarreal coming up?
Also around Wednesday, I think.
So yeah, with his crossing as well, he did some really, really good crosses from the Carabao Cup. I think if Ronaldo had been on the field, he probably would have, gotten to the end of maybe one or two of them. I don't think we would have lost. He's a good crosser. I don't want him to.
I completely agree with that.
I
think he was quietly impressive.
Yeah.
I think he was not quietly impressive. I think I said in my match reaction as well, if you had Greenwood on there or Ronaldo, he's getting on the end of a couple of those crosses, because Martial just doesn't operate like that. He's not a striker. He really never was a striker, really. Yeah.
He doesn't get into the right spaces. Like, he doesn't anticipate where the ball is going to end up. He just I don't know if it's form.
Just does that.
yeah, he's better off on the wing, but yeah. Delay would have been good for Delay to have gotten some game time. I can't see him coming on. Yeah.
No, there's no way that Wan-Bissaka or Shaw get taken off unless injuries dictate, and I hope they don't because I don't want either of them to get injured.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking at subs that are going to happen, it's probably in the order of Sancho, then maybe Cavani, or probably Sancho, then Matic. As I said, you're more likely to see Matic coming off the bench this game than we are Van der Beek. I know it hurts people. Just the truth.
Sam, jeez.
It's just the truth. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth.
Christmas Grinch.
Christmas. I'm just a Grinch. I'm just a whole year round Grinch, mate.
Oh,
But yeah, that's probably what I think will happen. But I might be wrong. Maybe we'll see Donny. Maybe we'll see Donny. And as I said, it will definitely depend on whether and what happens in the game. If Villa come out and they come aggressive and we're winning 2-3-0, maybe he'll bring Van der Beek on at the same time. Maybe it's still 0-0 in the 65th minute and we need someone to come on with some more precision passing in midfield. Maybe you'll see him. There is a chance he comes on. I just think it's more likely that Matic comes on.
Yeah, he's not going to come on. He's not going to come on. I'm just kidding myself.
Don't be too upset, though. Just don't be too upset.
I'm just going to go get drunk.
That's always a good idea. Always a good idea to get drunk, my friend. I mean, I'm on the water at the moment, but it's now past 12 o'clock, so holiday rules do apply. But everybody, fire in your predictions in the comments now. I'll try and read out as many as possible. How do you think the game's going to go? What do you think is going to happen in the first 15 minutes of this game? Do you think that United will actually come out aggressively, will go at Aston Villa, or do you think we're going to be playing slow, playing across the back five, diddly? Well, how do you think it's going to go? Let me bring another couple of you in. Chris, there's a new face down there. I haven't seen you before, Chris. Let's bring you on here. How you doing, buddy? Actually, no, we spoke last week.
Yes, we did. How are you?
I'm doing good, mate. How are you feeling about that team today? How are you feeling about United?
I'm really excited. I know a lot of people are probably very disappointed to not see Van der Beek on the team sheet, but bear in mind he played a game against West Ham not 2 days ago. So if I were Ole, I would choose to start fresh legs against Aston Villa in the middle of the park, where I believe most of the action is going to take place. So I'm happy with the starting 11. I think it's our strongest given the circumstances, but if anything at all, we will probably see Van der Beek against Villarreal in the Champions League 5 days later.
I mean, I'd be happy with that because that's a must-win game. But what's your prediction for today then, Chris? You're confident with that starting 11. Do you think United will win?
Very comfortably, I think. If we start the game right, I would go 4-0 easily.
All right. So we've got Orr's gone 5-0. You're going 4-0. We're just sprinkling some big results here. Who's going to come on here and predict 6-0? Come on. Someone's got to do it next, right? I hope so. Look, I hope you're right, Chris. As I said, I've got an air of confidence going into this game. Might be foolish, might not be, but this is what United should be going into games against teams like Aston Villa at Old Trafford with an air of confidence. We have to. We've got Ronaldo in the team. We've got Pogba, Greenwood, Maguire, Varane. We should be confident. But 4-0, I definitely take that very much. Thank you very much for joining in, Chris. I'm sure I'll speak to you again next week as well. Look at that. Regular faces all return into the Legacy Arms. Going to have to get your faces on the wall soon. But what do you think here in the comments? Eternal, you're saying 3-1. Ifosa, you're saying 3-1. 3-1. Vigi, you're saying 3-1. Canary, you're going 3-2. Over on Facebook, Tijani, you're saying 4-1. Let's go down here. Southampton repeat 9-0. Could you imagine how much fun that would be? How much fun that would be. Someone say a cricket score 9-1. How about 9-0? That's even better. Katarina, you're going 6-0. You heard the memo. You got the memo. 6-0 for you. 3-0 says Daryl on Facebook. Ronaldo hat-trick. Ronaldo, as I said, if we have a look at that's what we spoke about there on the stream with Ian. Ronaldo's going to be a bit busy today. And it's up to Manchester United's Greenwood and Pogba to maybe drag some of these defenders away, to create spaces for Ronaldo that he can then exploit. Because it depends, as I said, depends on what these fullbacks are doing. If these fullbacks are really sort of operating as more of a back five, then it's going to be busy as hell in and around Aston Villa's box. And there might not be much space anyway. You might see it come down to set pieces to sort of maybe open the game up. But United, man, I want to see some cockiness today. I want to see some arrogance. The sort of things that we just haven't seen for a long time, eh? And that cockiness and that arrogance has to come back in at some point. And why not do it against Aston Villa at Old Trafford? I know they won against 3-0 against Everton. Let's quickly have a look at how that game panned out here before we quickly move on to the next point. Yeah, I know they beat Everton 3-0, but I don't care. It's Everton. I just don't care. Let's have a look at their team. So this was the team they lined up with there. They had played with the back five, Matt Cash and Target as the fullbacks with Mings, Twanzebe and Konsa. So that's pretty much what they got in the back five there. But they've got a new someone, I can't remember his name. Douglas Luiz, he's starting. McGinn, I think he's starting as well. Who we got? They got McGinn, Luiz, and Ramsey. Is that a middle three that's the same? Yeah. And they got Watkins and Ings up front. Watkins and Ings. They've got who they got in? House. Hawes? House. I'm gonna go House. I'm gonna call him House. Exactly the same team that they had here against Aston Villa, but they don't have Leon Bailey. And that's definitely going to help Manchester United for sure. But how confident are we feeling today? Or you're saying we've got to dominate, score first and we win easily. Ashley, puff our chest out. I tell you what, I've said that way too often. It might become a bit of a catchphrase with me. And I don't really want it to be. But puff your chest out, United. Come on. Let's do that. Let's do it. I don't know. King Kong it. I don't know what you want to call it. But I just want to see United coming out here. Loam, what are you saying? I know you've been asked this question, Sam, or you've already given your opinion, but what's my reaction to the starting 11? Loam, it's exactly the 11 I predicted it to be. I don't really think anybody can truly be surprised. So any sort of anger, it's a bit, there's no point. I would say there's no point. Have anger at the end of the game when that team has played, because you might just be wasting energy. You might just be wasting energy because this team might just shine. This team might impress. Fred and McTominay might have a great game together. And then at the end of the game, you're like, well, I just wasted my energy before the game. Have your frustrations about it, but don't get too pissed off about it. In my own opinion, anyway. Let's see what Fred and McTominay can do in the middle. And it was quite a good point there from Chris, actually. Donny van de Beek's just played his first 90 minutes for Manchester United. Would you expect him to make his first Premier League start of the season only a few days later? Maybe not. But I would expect him to start against Villarreal. Absolutely. Klein, I can see you've been waiting there patiently, sir. Let's bring you on board. Let's get you in. How are you doing, my friend? All the way from Joburg, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm good, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you feeling about the team today? You angry?
I'm actually feeling like it's going to be another Arsenal whipping, 8-2, depending on how quickly we start the game.
You're coming in with the 8-2, so we've had a 4-0, a 5-0. You're coming in over the top trump with the 8-2, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
How do you think the game's going to... So you would expect then Manchester United to have a fast start to the game. First 5-10 minutes, we actually go aggressively at Villa. Yes, what you want to see?
Yes, definitely. In the first 10 minutes, if we're not 3-0 up, I might just switch off the TV.
What are you going to do instead?
Get drunk. Get drunk.
It's not a bad shout there. But look, yeah, I think there is an air of confidence, and there should be, man. We're joint top in the Premier League. I keep saying this. I know that we've had bad midweek results in the cup games, but where it's mattered this season, United have got the results. Given we haven't always had the performances, I think for a lot of the only performance that we can all say that was great was Leeds opening day of the season. I think you could say against Newcastle as well, but I think even the first half against Newcastle was very tentative. And it's when they equalised that United opened the doors, and then we scored 3 quick goals.
Exactly.
So we rarely under Solskjaer do we dominate a full 90-minute period game. That's definitely a flaw of Solskjaer, but not hardly any teams can dominate a full 90-minute. Aston Villa will have their moments in this game, but you think they're going to have 2 moments. You just think United are going to have 8, and I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take that all day long.
That's
I hope that happens, sir. And I hope you enjoy your drinks. And I'm sure I'll speak to you in the comments as well after the game in the match reaction. But thank you very much for joining in.
All right, cheers, Sam.
Look at that. All the way from Joburg. Reds around the world today. Man, I'm good. Let's see what else is being said ahead of the game. Let's go down, look at the old social list. See if anyone's saying anything. Or if anything is happening. Paul Pogba's ready, apparently. That's good. So it was handy, considering he's playing today. I'm looking forward to seeing what Paul Pogba does. I think Paul Pogba's been so fantastic for Manchester United this season. He's been so crucial. And bear in mind that he's a free agent come the start of the year, so we might be losing Pogba for a free. That would hurt me. That would cut me deep. Lads are warming up here. Look at that. Look at this sort of content you get here. I mean, I might get shut down for copyright. You might never see me again. But in the meantime, we can sit here. We can enjoy looking at Bruno Fernandes. He's on 4 goals already. 3 goals, sorry. No, 4 goals. Ronaldo's on 5. I don't know. Everyone's on so many goals. I think Ronaldo's on 4 as well. Is it? I think that's right. He scored 2 against Newcastle, 1 against West Ham, 1 against Young Boys. 3 in the league. Ronaldo's back in the team. Of course, Ronaldo's back in the team. And it's almost like you don't really speak about it that much already. It's just like Ronaldo's going to score. Ronaldo's going to score. It's as simple as that. There's no point hiding it. Ronaldo will score today. Be interesting if United actually get a penalty. We should get a penalty, for God's sake. We should have got penalties in the last few games. Let's see what else has happened. Ronaldo's looking good there. Fergie on Ronaldo's. Oh, look at that. Wow. That is a hell of a quote from Fergie. Fergie on Ronaldo's debut. That was like Caesar entering Rome after victory. I came, I saw, I conquered. It was fantastic. That is an absolutely superb quote from the greatest manager of all time. My God, that is so good. I love that. Dave as well, by the way. How good has he been this season? You all know what I thought about David De Gea. You all know that I thought that Manchester United this summer felt like the right time for Manchester United to move De Gea on and for De Gea to move on as well, to go back to his family in Spain. It hasn't happened. De Gea's got a new energy and a new focus, and he is looking like the best version of himself. De Gea is looking like 2016 De Gea, and that sort of De Gea is the sort of De Gea that I want in my team. So hopefully he can keep a clean sheet today. Let's see what happens. Ronaldo and Pogba. Fergie down here. Oh, look. I said I'm not sending you to the press. Oh, no, don't care about that. Solskjaer's been speaking about Cavani. He's an exceptional striker, finishing movement in the box. Tight games, they're always decided in the boxes, so it's good to have another striker on the pitch. And remember that Cavani's not played for Manchester United so far this season. Let's see what goes on, whether he comes on the pitch. I think that depends massively on how the game goes and what sort of position Manchester United are in come the 60th, 70th minute. If we really need a goal, maybe we'll switch to 2 up, because we can play 2 up top. Remember that. Before I quickly move on and a quick look at the formation here, subscribe if you're new, ladies and gents. There's plenty new faces in the comments that I can see. So please join the United People's TV community. Just like FP says there, I came, I saw, I subscribed. That's exactly what Julius Caesar did. And everybody else should do the exact same thing. But look, if at some point Manchester United today, we could switch the formation. Maybe it's not working. Maybe we need to get 2 strikers on there. You could get Cavani coming on there for Pogba, for example. That's not exactly what I would do, but I've always said that I quite like this formation. I like the 4-2-2-2. 4-2-2-2-2. Too many twos. I don't know. Maybe you probably put Bruno over there instead. You probably put Pogba down here instead. I think that formation there, that's got a lot going for it. Say it's not working for Manchester United. I don't know. What time's the game kick off today? Is it 12:30? Is it 12:45? Let me check. Don't actually want to miss the game. Sport. 12:30. Whoops. I got that wrong. I thought it was a 12:45 kickoff today. My word. It's lucky that I started at 11:30 then. But look, there's so many of you that have all joined in today. Thank you very much to Chris, to Luke. Edmund, I'm sorry I didn't get you on screen, my friend. Man United, we should be confident today. That's my final comment here. McTominay and Fred. I know a lot of us want to see Donny van der Beek in there, but don't be too frustrated. They could have a great game today if Manchester United can hit the front foot, get Aston Villa to come out of their shape. That will be good for Manchester United. I'll be here after the game. You know I will be. So come here for my match reaction after the game. And I'll quickly do one more of these shout-outs before I leave. Make sure you please subscribe to United People's TV if you're new. Come in, get involved in here. Join as a member as well if you'd like to get on screen with me. Let's go. Manchester United against Aston Villa. I'll be here after with my match reaction. Thank you all very much for a cracking pre-game show. I didn't realize it started at 12:30. Got 3 minutes. Nearly ready. Take it easy, everybody. See you soon.